Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to learn the nature of bonding in transition metal complexes. As we already know that the metals that are forming complexes with the ligands, they are transition metals and they have vacant or partially filled d orbitals. For example, in case of the first row of transition metals like 3D series, we know that there are the 3D orbitals are partially filled, while there are electrons in the 4s orbital, in most of the cases, two electrons, and in this series, 4p orbital is totally vacant. So, uh, the transition metal undergoes hybridization of these dsp orbitals, resulting in the formation of DSP hybridization. So in these DSP hybrid orbitals, there are some electrons, but most of the part of these DSP hybrid orbitals are vacant. So these vacant DSP hybrid orbitals are filled by bonding with the various ligands. Like depending upon the nature of ligand, as in this case, in this complex, you could see here that cobalt is forming uh, bonds with various ligands. That is almost four ammonia ligands and two chloride ligands, forming a coordination sphere, and there is a positive charge on coordination sphere, which indicate that this coordination sphere is formed by the overlap of partially filled or vacant dsp hybrid orbitals of the metal and with the filled orbitals of the ligand. Now, these filled orbitals of the ligand, they are donating their electron pairs to the vacant dsp hybrid orbitals, to the vacant dsp hybrid orbitals. Why this bonding takes place? Because the metal is going to attain the 18 electron configuration. Here you could count that the central metal is actually accepting 12 electrons from 6 ligands. There are 4 neutral ligands, that is ammonia, and 2 negative ligands, that is chloride. So, cobalt in this coordination sphere, it is in plus 3 oxidation state. In plus 3 oxidation state means it contains 6 electrons in its dsp hybrid orbitals. Now, the 12 electrons are gained from the ligands, and overall, the 18 electron valence electron, they are fulfilled in this complex. This is another example of cisplatin. Now, in cisplatin, cisplatin is an anti-cancer agent, and it has solved a lot to humanity for the treatment of cancer. In this complex, you could see here that platinum is in plus 2 oxidation state. Why? Because it is binding with two negative ligands, chloride. The number of valence electron in case of platinum, they are 10. If it is in plus 2 oxidation state, then they are 8. So 8 electrons are now being received from uh, 4 ligands, that is 2 ammonia ligands and 2 chloride ligands. Overall, the number of 18 electrons, they are fulfilled here in this case. Now, this is an example of another coordination complex, that is the complex of silver with 2 ammonia ligands. Silver is again gaining its electron, the need of electron being fulfilled here by the process of complexation. The purpose of showing all these examples is that the metal has vacant dsp hybrid orbitals. It has desire to fulfill its 18 electrons according to 18 electron rule or effective atomic number rule to gain the stability. Now these electrons are supplied by the ligands from their filled orbitals, resulting in the formation of bond that is drawn in the form of just like a single covalent bond, meaning sigma complexes or sigma bonds, they are being represented here in all these cases, in case of ammonia, in case of chloride. So uh, just we need to understand that how this bonding is formed. Now depending upon the nature of ligand, the nature of bonding varies. This is we are going to understand today. Here the vacant dsp orbital of the metal is overlapping with the filled orbital of the ligand, and the electron density is being donated from the ligand towards metal atom, resulting in the formation of in this case, a sigma complex. If it is a case of a compound like olefin, where carbon double bond carbon is acting as a ligand, then we already know that in that case, since pi electrons are used for the complexation with the transition metal, so in that case, we would say that it is a pi complex. Here, in case of complex with of the transition metal with carbon monoxide, we observe that the carbon monoxide, the specific bonding in the carbon monoxide, carbon is forming three bonds with the oxygen. The third bond is the coordinate covalent bond that results by the donation of lone pair of electrons from the oxygen towards carbon. So, since the net charge is zero on the carbon monoxide, that is why carbon monoxide is considered as a neutral ligand. Now, the carbon of carbon monoxide is capable of donating this pair of electrons to the transition metal. That is being carried out here. Carbon monoxide is donating its pair of electrons towards metal, and it is sigma donation from ligand towards metal. Now, the metal is capable also in return to donate electrons towards carbon monoxide. Oh, uh, the filled dsp orbitals of metals, they are capable to bind, to overlap with the vacant pi star orbitals of the ligand. As here in this case, we observe that carbon monoxide has donated its electrons towards metal by the overlap of filled dsp orbitals with the empty dsp orbitals with the filled orbital of the carbon monoxide, that is containing a lone pair of electrons. Now, since carbon and oxygen double bond results in the formation of pi and pi star molecular orbitals. Now, pi molecular orbital in this case is filled. Why? Pi star molecular orbitals, they are vacant and they are of low energy. Now, first carbon monoxide donates its electron pair to transition metal. Afterwards, the filled dsp orbitals of the metal, they are overlapping with the empty pi star orbital of the ligand, with the empty pi star orbital of the ligand, resulting in the shifting of electron density from the metal to ligand. Now, first ligand has donated its electron density to metal. Now, the metal is donating the electron density to the ligand. It is called back bonding. The donation of electron density from metal to ligand, it is known as back bonding. Now, due to this back bonding, the metal carbon bond is now more stronger it is now stronger than the cases in which there is back donation is absent. So here this back bonding makes the metal carbon bond more strong, and metal carbon bond length is decreased, and that is observed through X-ray. That is X-ray studies of the metal complexes when that is carried. It was observed that metal carbon bond in case of pi accepted ligands is shorter as compared to the other ligands. So again, we are observing this in further elaboration here. Metal and carbon monoxide, they are being linked here, resulting in the donation of electron density from carbon monoxide towards metal. Afterwards, the metal donates the electron density from filled DsP hybrid orbitals to the empty pi star orbitals, resulting in the to somewhat the formation of a pi bond. That is why metal carbon bond is now, in this case, stronger bond as compared to the other ligands. So same is the situation is observed in case of olefins. Now, in case of olefins, carbon double bond carbon, the pi electron density is present in the pi molecular orbitals. That is why this electron density results uh, in the donation towards the transition metal. Here, these filled pi orbitals overlap with the vacant dsp orbitals of the transition metal, resulting in the formation of a bond. In this bond, the electron density is being donated from ligand to metal. In return, the metal forms metal overlaps. The filled dsp hybrid orbitals of the metal, they overlap with the uh, empty pi star orbital of the olefin. Filled d orbital of the metal, they are overlapping with empty pi star orbitals of the olefin, resulting in the back donation, and this back donation uh, enables the ligand to form a stronger bond with the metal. The next step is oxidative addition reaction. Now, most of the ligands, if they are not bearing a pi bond, they are not capable uh, for the donation of pi electron density towards metal atom. For example, in case of alkyl halides, but they are still capable to form a bond with transition. How? For example, in case of Grignard reagent, we have clearly understood that alkyl halide undergoes metal, that is magnesium insertion reaction between alkyl and bromine. So magnesium is inserted between uh, alkyl and bromine of alkyl halide. Here, magnesium is converting from zero oxidation state to plus oxidation state, plus two oxidation state. It means that it has lost its two electrons and has undergone oxidation. Loss of electrons is known as oxidation. So magnesium has lost its two electrons and has undergone oxidation reaction. Same case, a similar case is observed in case of transition metal complexes. When there is the metal is zero oxidation state or low oxidation state, it interacts with the ligands that are forming a covalent bond with each other. For example, it may be hydrogen molecule, it may be alkane molecule, maybe silanes, maybe hydrogen halides, maybe alkyl halides, maybe halogens. So all these ligands, they interact with the transition metal, and the metal undergoing oxidation, that is metal losing its electrons When metal losing its electrons, then it is capable to interact with the ligands, and the ligands, the metal is inserted in the sigma bond of the ligand. Here, we could see that the metal is being converted from 0 to +2 oxidation state, and uh, the substrate that may be alkyl halide, it is now attached to the metal atom the, in the form of one bond with alkyl, and the metal form uh, another bond with the halide. In case of alkyl halide, and same is the case with halogens, same is the case with hydrogen halide, etc. This enables metal, transition metal, to result in useful applications in organic chemistry. So, very useful transformations, organic transformations could be carried out by the transition metal catalysis. Here, uh, further applications, for example, it is the palladium complex with 4 triphenyl ligands. You could see here that it is tetrakis triphenyl palladium 0. So in this complex, palladium is in zero oxidation state. Now, in order to interact with a substrate with an alkyl or aryl halide, or with other substrates like hydrogen halide, like halogens, alkanes, or hydrogen, uh, palladium must have to lose some of the ligands in order to create a space for the incoming ligands. So the first state is that first situation is that metal uh, would undergo oxidation by losing its electrons. It may or will lose some of the ligands which are already present here in order to build a space for the incoming ligand or to interact with the aryl halide, in this case that is thiophene substituted with bromine. So here two of the triphenyl phosphine ligands are lost. Metal has uh, uh, lost 2 electrons as well. Now this thiophene that is aryl group, it is attached with the palladium as well as bromine is also attached. This, as I have already discussed that, this ability of the transition metal, it enables transition metals to act as useful catalysts in the organic transformations. So, as you have already studied the mechanism of this catalysis, the next step would definitely be the interaction of another organometallic compound that may be uh, a compound in which the metal is from main group element. Okay, so that group interacts with this substrate which is formed by the oxidative addition reaction, and transmetallation takes place. Metal main group metal of the organometallic compound, it it forms a bond with this halide ion, resulting in the removal as a salt, metal salt, while the organic fragment of that organometallic reagent, it is attached to this palladium atom. Okay, so this forms the basis for the formation of a very useful transformation that is known as unusual transformations in the conventional organic chemistry. Same is the case in this form of rhodium complex that is utilized as a useful catalyst for the hydrogenation actions. This complex interacts with the hydrogen gas, and rhodium is and undergoes oxidative addition reaction. Rhodium is oxidized from +1 oxidation state to +3 oxidation state, and hydrogen is added. Now, the other ligand that we require to undergo hydrogenation reaction that comes here and interacts with this complex and it is attacked. So oxidative addition step is very useful step for the transition metal complexes to act as catalysts. Now, luckily, these reactions are most of the reactions that are being carried out on the transition metals, they are reversible. The oxidative addition has a reverse reaction that is known as here a reductive elimination. So once oxidative addition has carried out, the complex has undergone transmetallation reaction. Now the two ligands are attacked on the in the cis position of the transition metal. Now they could leave in the reductive elimination step. For example, here these two ligands, that is X and Y, they are linked to metal which is in +2 oxidation state. These two ligands uh, interacts with each other in a concerted mechanism. Due to concerted mechanism, these two ligands must be cis to each other. So they interact with each other, forming a bond between X and Y, and the metal is now reduced from +2 oxidation state to 0 oxidation state. So this transformation, this product is formed in this reductive elimination reaction. Another situation here, in this case, you are observing that palladium is linked to various ligands. Two methyl groups are uh, at cis positions to each other. Now, this complex in which palladium is in +2 oxidation state, it undergoes reductive elimination. Two methyl groups are interacting with each other. They are giving two electrons, one and one electrons to the palladium, causing reduction of the palladium. And these two ligands are eliminated in the form of methyl-methyl bond, that is ethane. So overall, this step is known as reductive elimination. The reduction of palladium is being carried out, and elimination of the product is being carried out. No one would definitely. This is a very simple example, and since palladium is highly costly material, and definitely you would not like to prepare ethane in this way, but this reaction uh, gives you a concept that how you could utilize these transition metal complexes for the formation of very useful products uh, by carrying out the transition metal catalysis. Now, here as I already mentioned that this step is concerted step, that is methyl and methyl start interacting with each other, and in this interaction the metal and palladium bond starts breaking. Sorry, methyl and palladium bond, they starts breaking, and methyl and methyl bond starts generating. So after some time, the reduction of palladium takes place, and methyl bond is formed. That results in the formation of product. But the concerted step is not possible when these two substrate, these two ligands, these two interacting ligands, they are trans to each other. So that is why the reductive elimination could take place only when these ligands are cis to each other. This is the formation of indole from a palladium complex. Here too, you could observe that these two bonding sites, which are cis to each other, they are interacting with each other, resulting in the reductive elimination and the formation of a indole as a useful product. So, in all these examples, and in many more examples, you will see that these are the basic steps that enable a transition metal to act as a catalyst. I here going to sum up the necessary steps. First of all, transition metal interacts with the substrate, that may be aryl halide, that may be alkyl halide, that may be hydrogen, may be alkene, etc. And transition metal or transition metal complex undergo oxidative addition reaction. Now, in order to undergo oxidative addition reaction, metal should be in low oxidation state. It loses its electrons. Number one, it should have vacant bonding sites to interact with these ligands, and that vacant bonding sites is generated either by loss of electron or by losing its ligand or by both. So, in all these steps, the metal is generating a space to interact with another substrate. Another situation, in case of 16 electron stable complexes, the vacant orbital is already present on the metal atom, and that enables 16 electron complexes to act as useful catalysts. The 18 electron complexes, they they undergo the removal of some ligands to enable the metal to form a bond with the substrate, that is aryl halide, etc. In the next step, when the substrate is added up on the transition metal by the oxidative addition reaction, the intermediate achieved by this reaction, it undergoes transmetallation step, an organometallic compound where the metal is from main group element, that is, it may be lithium, maybe sodium, etc. That interacts with the intermediate we have achieved by oxidative addition reaction. Halide ion and the main group metal, they form a salt, while the organic part in the organometallic compound, that is attached to this, in this case, palladium metal or transition metal. Now, one organic part has already been attacked by oxidative addition step, and the other part is now attacked by the transmetallation step. Here, these two organic fragments, they combine with each other in the reductive elimination, and they result in the formation of useful organic products. So I hope that you may have understood all these mechanisms. So thank you very much, and inshallah we will meet in the next lecture.